I get asked this question. Um, I gotta ask this because Showtime Lakers was the best basketball that I saw. I still say the '80s basketball is the best ball I ever saw. And then and of course, I'm a big Shaquille O'Neal fan. So I gotta ask how that Magic, Kareem, Showtime, Pat Riley, slickness goes up against Shaq, Kobe, Phil Jackson triangle. So I'll break it down the best way I can. Showtime was the most fun to watch. The late great Dr. Jerry Bussell owned the Lakers. Awarded Showtime even when Phil Jackson was racking up jewelry with Shaq and Kobe, and Kobe and Paul Gasol. All he wanted it. That style was more fun to watch. You asked me what was more impressive. Well, Shaq and Kobe, Shaq's three-peats, the last to do it. He gets downplayed because of big man, and it's just not cool to admit it. He was a better player than Kobe. People need to stop with this crap. When Shaq was out in LA, he was the better player. It was Shaq, and then it was Kobe. But it wasn't no 1 and 1A. Now Kobe came up into his own. He had some moments, the first championship run, and therefore, and he had some big moments. He was big time. But make no mistake about it, Shaq was like steering that wheel. It wasn't even close. You ask me who's the better? Well, the thing is, both instances when Magic and Kareem and Magic came off as a rookie fielding for Kareem, they were run and gun, play defense, locked you down, could bounce styles. Um, they were favorite. They had no competition in the West. So the one thing right here. I mean, let's just do the tiebreaker. Moses Malone was a great player, and the Rockets beat them. And then of course, with the Ralph Sampson shot, what a large one, but a large one wasn't a large one at that time when they beat them in '86 when Boston played the Rockets in that one. Moses was a great player, but the Lakers were in the finals. They went to Magic went to 9 finals his first 12 years. Crazy, unheard of, crazy. Okay, so 5-4. So he camped out. There wasn't a lot of competition. They remember to play the Spurs. They go 6 games. And then later when Utah came on, Dallas came on, but they didn't get no pushback. There was no type of Tim Duncan playing back then. That's what Shaq and Kobe had to go against Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan was always in the room. So you ask me who had the harder task, I tell you the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe because Popovich is an all-time great coach. He belongs in the army. Who did Pat Riley go up against in the West that was seeing Greg Popovich or seeing Tim Duncan? So you ask me, this is my tiebreaker. Shaq belongs in the conversation with Magic and with Kareem. Okay, easily because he was that dominant. The Lakers, as great as it was, and it was fun to watch Showtime, and that was my most fun as a basketball. They had no foe. And even the Lakers had Sacramento for that one year, and you can make that case with that, this, that, and the other. But they was dismantling teams. They got to the finals, they owned it. The Lakers played the Sixers, beat them twice early on, but they won 6 games. But Dr. J was great, but when he got Moses, they swept the Lakers, if you remember. 4-4-4, remember. So, with Bobby Jones and a young Andrew Toney. But my point is, the thing is that when you break it down, the Phil Jackson way is winning with less. The Lakers retooled and kept loading up. So, what Shaq and Kobe did to go to 4 finals in 5 years and three-peat was more impressive than the Showtime Lakers, because Kareem had retired after '89. And Magic won again against Chicago, which they lost in '91. Everybody got hurt too in 5 games, but that's no make no excuses. But if you're asking me what Shaq and Kobe did was impressive. They got that run going. And considering how dominant that Lakers team was in the '80s, that was not quite because it took over the course of years to get that 5. So, but I thought their brand of basketball was more fun to watch than Shaq and Kobe's. I'll give you that. But anyway, that's my thoughts and takes. But what do you think? The Showtime Lakers or the Shaq and Kobe Triangle Lakers? Which one was more fun for you? Which do you think had the better situation? I think they both got cases, but I think Shaq and Kobe, they won with less, and they had to go through that, man, and that Tim Duncan, Dave Robinson with that Greg Popovich. And the Lakers never faced nobody in the West like that. That wasn't their Achilles. Over on the other side, the East was either Boston or Detroit. That was their Achilles, style wise. But they never had that in the West. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts and comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. And these are some interesting conversations I'm out.